Hi, welcome to the class. Today we'll do one more topic of Unit 3 and this is a pure new topic. So as I told you at the beginning that this is a very lengthy chapter and we will be doing it in bits and pieces. So already we have discussed about two topics, that is Barrett's law and Ampere's second law. So now this is the third topic and the name of the topic is force on a moving charge in a magnetic field. So if you all remember, we have defined electric field as F upon Q, force per unit charge. From there, we understood that the force experienced by this charge Q due to this electric field E is F is equals to QE. This was the force experienced by this charge Q due to the electric field E, right? Now, today we will understand that if the charge is moving, mind you that this charge was not moving because is the electric field which we studied in electrostatic, and there the charges were at rest. Right now the charges has to move. Why charges has to move? Because charges, if the charges will not move, then there will be no current, and if there is no current, there will be no magnetic field because of this current, and we are dealing with the magnetic effect of the current. So therefore the charges has to move. So force on a charge. So suppose I am assuming that a charge is there Q, and this charge Q is moving with a velocity v. There is a charge Q moving with a velocity v, and charge is moving making an angle theta with what? With B. What is B? B is the magnetic field. So a charge Q moving with a velocity v making an angle theta with the magnetic field B, then the force experienced by this charge will be QVB sine theta. Remember that this is the charge experienced by the magnetic field when the charge is moving with a velocity v and making an angle theta with magnetic field B. Now you know that this theta is the angle between V and B. So in vector form, if I have to write this, I'll write Q V cross V. This is the force experienced by this charge particle, right? Now this will give me the magnitude of the force. What about the direction? I have to find the direction of the force also. So for direction of force, you can use Fleming's left hand rule. So Fleming left hand rule says that stretch your left hand in such a way, that thumb, first finger and the middle finger are perpendicular to each other. Then the thumb will direct in the direction of force. This will direct in the direction of magnetic field, and this will direct in the direction of either the motion of the charge or either the motion of the current. It can be either of the two, either the motion of the charge, that is the velocity of the charge, or the current, right? So this is Fleming's left hand rule. So how do I remember it? I remember it: father, F force, mother, M magnetic field, child, C current. Father, mother, child, right? So stretch left hand in such a way that these the thumb, first finger and the middle finger are perpendicular to each other in such a way that force is represented by the thumb and magnetic field is represented by this, and then the charge current or the moving charge or the velocity of the charge is represented by this finger, middle finger, right? So this, with this rule you can give the direction of the force, correct? Now there we can form certain special cases. So the first special cases which I'll discuss is very important for you people to understand, and that would be if the angle between, if theta is equals to 90 degree. What do you mean by 90? If the angle between B and V, that is velocity of the charged particle and magnetic field, is 90 degree, then force experience, the magnitude of the force experience will be QVB. This will be, because sin 90 is 1. But what will be the direction of this force? That is very interesting to understand, right? So let us understand that. So suppose I'll take velocity in that direction. suppose, and magnetic field is cross magnetic field. You all know by now what do we mean by cross magnetic field. So cross magnetic field is there and this is there. Let us see, applying Fleming's left hand rule, where will be the direction of force. So velocity in that direction, so this is velocity, so velocity in that direction, right? And cross magnetic field means inside, so this is, where is the force acting? In the upward direction. So force acting is in upward direction. So let me draw it like this. Now what happens is, at this point the velocity moves in this direction. So velocity is in this direction. Right now velocity moves in this direction. Now let us say it is in this direction. Now apply this rule, what happens? Let us see. So basically velocity in this direction and velocity in the upward direction, magnetic field is cross inside. So the direction of the force is inside. So earlier the direction of the force, this is inside. So this will be the force in this case. Let me again do it for this. So this okay, it was upwards. It was upwards. Now let us say the velocity is in this direction. Velocity. So if the velocity is in this direction again, magnetic field is inwards, and if you place it like this, so thumb is pointing downwards. So force is in this direction, right? Now let us say the velocity. Okay, if you see like this, you could see that if I keep on changing the direction of velocity like this particle is moving in this path. So basically what I am bringing here is this, that whenever this velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field, the force will try to move this particle in a circular path. The force will try to move this charged particle in a circular path. So this is the point which I am trying to make you understand. So basically, if that is the case, I'll explain this to you. I'll make a circular path and keeping this in a cross magnetic field. You know what do we mean by cross magnetic field? Cross magnetic field means inwards. Okay, you can try it with the dot magnetic field as well. In this case, the velocity will always be along tangential direction. So if you calculate the force at this point, I think we had done just now, I explained it to you. The direction of the force will be inward. The direction of the force will be inward. If you apply it here, this is velocity. Let us do this part. So if I do this part, then what happens is magnetic field, velocity. So it is coming downwards. So obviously the force will try to bring this charged particle in this direction. Again at this point, it is like this. So it is downwards. So this is it. This is downwards. So force will be in that direction. So you see that whenever this velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field, that is theta is equals to 90 degree. In that case, the force, magnetic force, will try to rotate the charged particle in a circular path. This is important. Why this is important? Because if I see this force F is equals to QE. So when this force acts on this charged particle Q due to the electric field E, what does this force try to do? This force tries to accelerate the charged particle. This force tries to accelerate the charged particle. But what does magnetic force do? Magnetic force, if the velocity is perpendicular to the magnetic field, in that case, the magnetic force tries to move the body in the circular path. So I am applying the condition if. And in most of the cases, I will try to keep the velocity perpendicular to magnetic field. Why? In order to get the maximum force. Okay, so it means in most of the cases, the path of the charged particle would be a circle. So if in maximum cases, I am talking about in general, there would be one or two cases where this scenario will fail, but we will see that later on. So if applying that condition, I am saying that the magnetic force tries to move a charged particle in a circular path, whereas electric force tries to accelerate the charged particle, right? So that should be very clear in your mind that these two forces does that. Now guys, if I combine, suppose a charged particle is there and it is experiencing both forces, that is the electric force due to the electric field and magnetic force due to the magnetic field. So in that case, if I combine these two, so my force will be F is equals to Q E plus Q V cross B. So if I combine these two, F is equals to Q common E plus V cross B. This is what we call, this expression is what we call Lorentz force. This expression is what we call Lorentz force. Lorentz force. So this Lorentz force is a combination of electric force as well as magnetic force, right? That is the case when both are present. But what if electric force is not present? Then also we will call it Lorentz force. Because the electric is not present, magnetic is there. So this expression will contain this electric field to be 0. And the same is true for this force also. If magnetic field is not there, only electric field is there, then also we can say that this is a Lorentz force, right? So this is a very important expression, and this was about the force experienced by a moving charge in a magnetic field. I hope you understood this part, right? So thank you.